in South Carolina. So Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear is making, this is day one of him making a 2-day swing across South Carolina. So Beshear is scheduled to speak to several different groups, including right now here in Greenville. I believe he's in Greenville at the AFLCIO convention there. So let's take a listen in. This press conference just started. Again, let's take a listen in.
We are ready to demand it. With those remarks, I would like to hand it over to Governor Beshear, which I'm glad to have here in South Carolina. And we need more leaders like Governor Beshear to stand up for working people in the White House. Thank you.
Thank you. Proud to be here today with the AFL-CIO that nationally represents over 15 million hardworking Americans. They go to work every single day to make sure that people are paid what they deserve. That if you work a hard day's work, you ought to be able to support a family on that paycheck. They go to work to make sure that you can come home from work safely each and every day. And their efforts across the decades have meant a better America for so at the end of the week and at the end of the month. And this current Trump administration is only making it harder. At a time when costs are too high, Donald Trump's tariffs are making things cost that much more. They're making the next project that union labor would build cost that much more, and we're seeing many of them pause. At a time when people worry about paying for that next doctor's appointment, that big, ugly bill by President Trump is going to strip millions of Americans of coverage that they desperately need to stay alive and to stay healthy with their families. And what it's going to do to rural America is a flat betrayal, with hundreds of thousands of people losing their jobs and an impact to rural communities that's going to be absolutely devastating. I appreciate the AFL, its 60-plus unions standing up and speaking out, because they're not speaking out for Democrats or for Republicans. They're speaking out for all Americans, simply wanting a better way of life for those that are willing to work hard to be able to get ahead. You should be able to pay those bills at the end of the month and every now and then take your family on a vacation. I think that's what the American people are crying out for, and that's what we're working every day to deliver.
We've got time for a couple of questions today. We're going to start with Carpenter at the Greenville News.
I was wondering why you believe it's important to hold these conversations around empowering workers in such a deeply anti-union right-work state like South Carolina.
Well, we at the AFL-CIO, we have a lot of confidence in South Carolina. We believe in the workers here in South Carolina. And if you look at what's happening in Kentucky, which is also a right-to-work state, where people are really fighting to join the union. We have legislators that is supporting unionization in the state of Kentucky, and we could do the same thing here in South Carolina. We have a strong state AFL-CIO that's working to shift the tide in South Carolina. We have some very important organizing initiatives that's going on in South Carolina, and we're not going to rest until those workers in South Carolina that wish to join the union have the opportunity to do.
And I just add that in Kentucky, they passed all of the same and especially our building trades have never been busier. What happens when business is able to take a look at and work with our unions? They find they do really incredible work. And that goes from the building trades to, we have Ford's most profitable plant in the world in Louisville, Kentucky, all union members that show up every day and make some really great trucks. It's the F-250 and the Expedition. So trying to push a few of my state products.
And we'll go to Seth at the postings earlier.
Governor, there's moving around the election move. Are you here in South Carolina this week because you're running for president in 2028?
I'm here in South Carolina this week for 3 reasons. The AFL invited me, the Georgetown Dems invited me, and my son has a baseball tournament here at the end of the weekend in South Carolina.
Can you tell us more about the baseball tournament?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's in Charleston. He'll play 3 to 5 games. My son's 16. And one of my joys in life is watching him play baseball. My daughter rides horses. That's the most expensive sport ever known to man. But I'm also traveling more. I'm traveling more because I'm trying to be a common sense, common ground, get things done type of voice that can pull not just Democrats back together, but hopefully pull Republicans and independents together too, and say, let's focus on these everyday needs of Americans. Let's depoliticize them and get people results. My focus is that this year. Next year I'm head of the Democratic Governors Association. And because of these very painful Medicaid cuts, we're going to win in a lot of places that people don't expect.
And South Carolina's voted for you to go?
Well, speaking of 2028 in South Carolina, should South Carolina remain first on the presidential nominating calendar?
Well, being a Southern Democrat, I think that we need to make sure that the South is represented in the primary calendar for the Democratic Party. You know, for too long, investments haven't been made in places like Kentucky and in places like South Carolina. And where South Carolina is right now, make sure that all potential candidates learn more about sometimes the unique challenges that we face, but also get invested in every single state.
Sorry. We'll go to Gavin.
I think we're kind of running out of questions here, but
Okay.
do we expect to see you coming back through the state more often, even if there aren't any more baseball tournaments?
I look forward to coming back. What you're going to see me is in a lot of places where we believe we can elect a Democratic governor, or where we have that seat that can flip. I'm more active right now in congressional races than I have ever been. Why? Because a lack of a couple seats were the difference between that big ugly bill passing and not. And we've got to do everything we can in the next couple of years to win enough elections and to create enough pressure to undo it before these cuts to health care are irreversible.
Governor, just to follow up really quick on when we see like our state versus your state, do you think what you did in Kentucky can be replicated in other southern states? I mean, North Carolina, we're not Georgia, we're solidly with South Carolina. How do you do that?
My state went to Donald Trump by 30 points, and I won re-election by 5. The way that we win, and it's not just Democrats, I wish Republicans would do it too, is focusing on those everyday concerns that Americans have. That's their job, their next doctor's appointment, the roads and bridges they drive, the school they drop their kids at, and whether they feel safe in their community. And I don't mind saying what I think the secret sauce is out loud to how you win in challenging places, because if more people of all parties would put their focus there, we wouldn't move a country to the right or the left, we just move with everyone.
So do Democrats need to listen to you more than maybe?
Yes.
Over and over again to help these communities. Andy Beshear is a person that cares about people and cares about unions.
All right, so that was Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear in South Carolina. He's going to be in South Carolina for 2 days. He's in Greenville now, but he is working his way to Georgetown, Columbia, and Charleston, and then Pawleys Island at some point there. Again, you see it right there from an event earlier with Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear here in South Carolina.